what's going on, guys? So I am getting ready to share with you guys why I am building a media company. And so this video will not really be edited, and it's gonna be kind of jarring and a little rough around the edges. But what I will let you know is I'm gonna share with you guys pretty much my points, my reasons, and also the fact that I need to get out of this apartment. So I'm gonna head to the penthouse, kind of enjoy a little bit of the sun, and explain to you guys the reasons as to why. So I'm gonna take you guys off of this handheld here. Get you guys on the handheld here. Voila, all right, let's turn these lights off. And also I got my notes on my phone, so this is just me kind of practicing YouTube. So let's, just kind of give me some grace here. Okay, so why in the world, I'm sorry, I'm in the hallway with a bunch of people and I'm pretty sure they're doing maintenance. I'm not trying to be too loud, but why would I start a media company after being in videography for the last 7 years? Well, it's a couple things that I've actually learned. Well, the first one, honestly, is there's really little leverage in being a solo videographer. I've been in so many rooms where people often, they're like, oh, well, they're looking for like a bigger team, or sometimes I've actually lost deals because I was just a solo person, even if my work was better. Whether someone else comes to the table and has an entire team behind them, it makes them look a little more professional. Even if my work may have been better, it does not matter to some people. It's a lot more leverage. Honestly, as same as well, I found myself like begging a lot, and also I really hated that, because you're finding yourself trying to do whatever you can to land the job. And although I've had a lot of success, sometimes it's been a little more, it feels like you're lowering yourself, regardless if you know your skill set is phenomenal, but you find yourself in lesser positions, again, because of the leverage points that I shared with you guys before. I'm not gonna lie, these things are like extremely inconvenient. Ooh, I need elevator 1. Also, this is me practicing my, it won't. So this is gonna be really awkward because I'm just holding a camera. We're going to 6? Oh, how convenient. That's exactly where I'm going. I guess that worked out. This is also uncomfortable for me because I'm recording in public for the first time. So let's see how this goes. Oh, excuse me, sorry, no worries. Let's see, and then we are going to the penthouse. Honestly, a lot of these buttons and all this, like the way that they have the systems here, like the elevators and latch, is just extremely inconvenient, honestly. Like, I think a fob would have been so much better, but that's neither here nor there. Just really inconvenient, And if your phone dies, oh, you're out of luck. But I will at least admit there's a beautiful view of Richmond from up here, so I can at least admit that. This is the view from the rooftop of my apartment. That is the beautiful city of Richmond right there. And my butt is wet. Fan-freaking-tastic. Anyway, so the last one of the bigger, get my thoughts together. Also, why I'm building is pretty much just the realization that the entire time I was just telling stories, whether it was weddings, whether it was me even creating content about my what was going on in my life, or even other people's businesses. All I was doing was telling stories. And once I came to that clarity, I realized, okay, then I would just continue to focus on what's working, which was which was telling stories. I've shot ads, I've shot all those other things, which is cool, but I found that I really had a good skill set, and a lot of the people that I was also building with really had a good honing on storytelling. And like, for instance, my friend Derek and Ephraim in Texas helped me tell phenomenal stories for our clients, which I was like, okay, if this is working, why not double down on it and really put the focus just to this for our company? Let's see what's next. Dude, this is honestly, that is actually really embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. So one of the bigger things also in this aspect of storytelling that I've learned thus far is that the demand for content has never been higher, which is wild to me because in the aspect that everyone picks up a camera, they feel like they're either a videographer or they're in the video industry. It seems like it's oversaturated. One thing I used to always say is that content isn't particularly like videography may be saturated, but the world of videography with good videographers is not so saturated, because just because someone picks up a camera doesn't mean their skill set is to that degree. But what I did learn is the demand has never been higher, because either people are looking for people who can actually create good content, or there's someone else who just may need that skill set, because even though they may do their business phenomenally, even though they have a multitude of millions of dollars in the bank, sometimes if they're trying to now make a presence online because they understand there's so much of demand for it, they don't know what to do. Just because they're doing phenomenal in their industry doesn't mean that they can do phenomenal in this particular industry. And this is why everyone, especially people who are having influences, are looking to build teams to help them in this industry. Which I honestly was kind of shocked once I found out. I was like, oh, that's great. That's perfect. And a lot of this deals with storytelling, because they're looking for people to pretty much package them or tell their story or showcase what they're doing in their life. They're telling a story, whether it's in a moment, whether it's an event, whether it's them speaking on stage. All these are stories that can be told depending on how you capture it and package it. And this is when it really hit me, and I was like, wow, I actually can do well in this space. And even a mentor that I talked to, he literally said, yo, there is a major demand for content right now. And that's all the confirmation that I needed to be like, okay, at least I'm in the right industry. I know this. And the second portion that the next portion that I also learned is that the amount of access you get by serving others who don't have this skill is immense. Like, we've captured events, probably, like, there's one person particularly, we've captured probably 4 of their events now. And the one thing I love is people are paying to go to this event while we are being paid to be there. And even while we're capturing, we're still listening to the information that's giving access to us. We've also run into the amount of people that are also doing events, who are also doing extremely well in businesses. The networking that I've done, and my friends actually tell me, like, yo, like, you're a sweet talker. You genuinely always meet someone and are having these conversations with people who are doing really, really big. And I genuinely would have to only chalk that up to the fact that I've had access because of the servitude of the skill set that I've had for people who are looking for it. And that to me is like realizing, okay, yes, this demand, not only is it high, but on top of that, it's something that I can provide and my team can also help with. And also finding other people who have a similar skill set that can provide it, not only just typically, but at a high level. And lastly, just the main focus of what we're doing now. So the main focus out of creating this entire media company moving forward is that, honestly, I'm building the skill set. So even though I'm just now coming to the realization, even though I know I am not perfect at it, the one thing I know for sure is that I can get better at it, but I have to put in the reps. So even though I've been doing it for years, I never truly looked at it with the clarity that all I'm doing is really focusing on telling stories and how can I tell stories better. Whether it was a wedding, whether it was a speech, whether it was someone's brand, all of it is just a matter of storytelling. And now the reps are really clear now as to what intention I have moving forward. Last point I'm also making is just the actual documentation of it all. Like, I want to document this journey of now I'm super clear that I'm just telling stories. That's all I'm focusing on, is telling stories. I don't want to create ads. I don't want to, do all those other things. I just want to tell stories. And the more I'm thinking about it, the more ways I'm realizing there are so many ways that I can lean into that can allow me to have a successful career, not just in videography, but also in different ways of production or even being on stages, which I will tell you guys about later. But just documenting the journey. Like, I'm creating a media company and I want to bring you guys along with me on the clients that I've landed, the places that we're going, the people we're meeting, and all these other things. And lastly would just be the goal of all of this. Like, now that I'm clear on the aspect of, I want to tell stories. I'm creating the media company. Fantastic. what is the end goal, or at least what direction are we heading in? And honestly, the goal is to figure out how far can we take this storytelling thing. You know, when I was sitting down and I was thinking about it, I realized there are so many ways that you can take the aspect of storytelling and building the media company that can actually build a career out of. Like, some people genuinely make media companies specifically for one reason, and they just only have but 1 or 2 offers. So for me, with the media company, that is me building the company, but then I'm also building my brand on top of that, and the only focus that I have on my brand is storytelling. So with the company, I am genuinely just continuously telling stories, telling other people's stories. That's for the clients. But then what I'm doing for my personal brand is utilizing my skill set, and then also building my brand to be able to be on, create a podcast or be on other people's podcasts, telling stories by being on stages, and then also being able to be in certain rooms, that being able to share my story that can also help others, or even realize, owning my own story, which is something that a friend of mine actually told me. We were having a conversation about my past, and he literally told me, he literally said, Quentin, you need to own your story. And once that clicked in my head, I was like, oh, that's it. I need to own my story, because I was so busy telling everyone else's story that I forgot the importance of my own. And so now that I am fixating not only on just building my brand in the aspect of being a really, really good storyteller, and I'm gonna have to put the practice in because I'm not great right now. You guys can hear me rambling right now. But in the same token, being able to create an entire brand around that, seeing what opportunities can come from that, and honestly allowing that brand to also generate leads for the media company as well. So this is all kind of encompassed in one solitary direction. And the biggest takeaway is I just want to document the journey. Guys, I want to document the journey. I want to share with you guys like what's going on, good, bad, and the ugly, and then also at the same time see where this can go, what doors can open from the aspect of building the media company, sharing with you guys, and really delving into the storytelling. And that's pretty much the case. So not really sure exactly what's going to come of it, but I want to document the journey. I want you guys to come with me, and let's see how this goes.